I can't tell if that's a fish or if it's hung. It's hung, I got a whole tree. If it's a fish, it's a big fish. It's pulling like a limb though. Limbs don't swim off. Hey folks, I'm Dieter Melhorn. If you're a subscriber to the channel, welcome back. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. And if you do, be sure to hit that little bell so you'll be notified when new videos come out. Hey, come along with me on this trip as I tell you the story of catching my new personal best blue catfish on Santee Cooper. All right, folks, so this trip came about at the very last minute. My wife was going out of town on a little short trip. So I got to basically play bachelor for the weekend. The fishing back home on my home lake was kind of slow. So I decided to load up and go someplace different. And the weather looked good, so I decided to come down to Santee Cooper. The plan is today to drag some white perch. Why? Well, it's the bait I got with me. I got a bunch of them, brought them from home. They should make excellent baits down here. I'll scale them. First and foremost, boom, boom. All right, guys, so the battle plan is pretty simple. I'm just going to cover some water. It's slick as glass out here. You really don't see this lake this calm that often, so it's kind of odd. So we can pretty much fish wherever I want to fish. There's really no big worry about big waves or anything like that. So for now, we can fish wherever we want. So what I'm going to do is I just came out there to a hump, an area where there's a little change in the bottom contour. I'm going to start drifting up relatively shallow. Going to drift out deeper across a little bit of stuff here just to see what's working. The intel is that fish are deeper, but it's pretty warm today, man. It's like 55 degrees. It's overcast. So I'm thinking some of these fish may be moving up shallower. I see some bass fishermen and crappie fishermen within a mile of me on some of these humps. So who knows what's going on. Drifting is the best way to cover water. Sadly, this place is known for drifting, drift socks, big wind. I'm having to use a trolling motor to move the boat. So the good thing is I can keep it really slow and really control it well. So we're just hope the wind stays on our side from now. I'm drifting white perch, 6 Santee rigs on the bottom, and I've got heads and fillets. So we'll just see what they take, see if we can figure out where the fish are. All right, guys, I think I got a small fish going on Pinky. Had a rod go. Nice little pull there. There's a little ditch that comes through here. And it's kind of what I'm dropping into. This one is wrapped in another line. It is slick out here. It's normally, or I say normally, you don't get days like this a lot where it's this slick. A little wind's nice, a lot of wind's bad. I try not to ask for wind here because when it hits you, it's bad. So we'll take it. It is what it is. Work it with the trolling motor. Dying to anchor though. Everybody's saying drag baits, but I mean, I'm dying to anchor up to bop out a planer board here to get a bigger spread. Nice blue. Tell you what, if I was keeping them to eat, this would be a good one. He's gonna get to go back. I might never get the hook out of him. There we go. Santee Cooper blue cat, first one of the trip. Happy to see him. Happy to see him. Hello, world. Shoot. This is one of those odd days where it was glass slick on Santee, which doesn't happen often. So I was using a trolling motor to actually move the boat. That's how slick it was. Ended up dragging a little bit further. I was using white perch, cut white perch for bait, and made a little bit further, started coming off the hump, and boom, another rod went over. It may be hooked up on Pinky again here. Let's see. Stay button. Yep, it's coming at the boat. Boom, there it is. There it is. Coming up a little bit here in water depth. I'm coming up on the edge of this hump that I'm working over toward. And coming up out of that ditch a little bit. Better fish. Fishing 30-pound line. Andy monster. This is a Big Cat Fever medium heavy action rod. And an Ancient Mariner I think they call this a 6000 series reel. Kind of in between a Abu Garcia 6500 and a 7000. More than enough to catch any of these fish. This will be number 2. It's not exploding, but ain't too bad of a catch, right? I ain't been dragging an hour yet, and I've got 2, so we'll take that. Good blue. Good blue. Good teener. Come here, big boy. Come here, big boy. There you say some. Got him. Get the water off of me. It's a good fish. That's a good fish. I'll catch them all day long. Get out of his mouth there. There he is, guys. Good looking Santee Cooper blue cat. Now, hey, no complaints there. That's a good fish. So I kept on drifting, kept on dragging. These humps and islands, unsubmerged islands out here are pretty big, so it took a while to come off of it. But I didn't get much further, and this time I stuck a really good fish. I have got this line going in a different direction. That's generally a sign there's a fish on it. I'm gonna hold that rod for a second. Now what that one's doing. Poof, he's there. He is there. Maybe in some other lines, we'll see. We'll get a waypoint on that last one. This is a good fish. This is a good fish. On that. This is a better fish. Much better fish. Let's see how big it is. Maybe something right around this hump I was working. He is underneath the boat. Have not seen it yet. He feels nettable. Get the net ready. Oh yeah. This is the first good workout I've had on this B&M rod. This is a good fish. Real good fish. Big. He's big. And then dive back down. There we go. There we go. Glad I got the net. Boom. He's active. He's active. He's trying to get to the bottom. Try not to nurse him too much. See if we can get him on this next pass. I need one more crank on it. I need one more crank. One more crank. One more pull up. We got color. Oh, he turned the wrong way. Turned the wrong way. See if I can get him this time in there. That gun. Let's Fish is not wanting to cooperate. He keeps diving every time. Turn, turn, turn. Turn, turn, turn. Boom. Got him. Picture of this. Let's see if we can get some video of this sucker. Then get it back. There it is. Good looking fish. Good looking blue cap. Drifted a little bit further and I picked off a nice channel cat. All right, folks, I think I got a little one eating on Pinky. What's up with Pinky today, man? This thing has been hit a bunch. Not a big one, didn't slam it. I got a live bait. I put a live bait out on one of these and I don't remember which rod I put it on. Maybe it is Pinky, I don't know. Can't remember. You gotta remember stuff like that, folks. That is, remember what bait you got on each rod. It can definitely help you if you're dialing in on a certain bait. Now today, all I'm using is white perch. But you got fillets, you got heads, you can fish them live. So there is some variation there. I've got some friends that are maniacal about it and write it down. But having some little system does help, especially if they start keying in on one bait. Boom, that's a big channel cat. Wow, that's a good channel cat. That's a good one. This is what we used to catch on Lake Wiley. Y'all hear me talk about us not having decent channel cats anymore. And it's a good one. Good fish. Wish we still had them this size. I know some of y'all in some parts of the country, that's a small channel cat, but for us, it's a good one. World record channel cat. It's from this lake, 58 pounds. Caught a long, long time ago. It's a good channel cat right there, boy. Wish we still had them that big. And after I came down off the island, I came down to basically a large flat. It was about 25, 26 feet deep. No real changes. I was dragging across here, not really getting hit, and I had a rod go off. Thought I was almost hung at first. Thought I was pulling the limb, and finally I felt it move. I'm going to let this video roll in its entirety so you can see how long the fight took, how long it took to get this fish in, and just see what all was involved. I can't tell if that's a fish or if it's hung. We're getting ready to find out. If it's hung, I got a whole tree. If it's a fish, it's a big fish. I hadn't felt the head shake though. Waiting for a head shake. If it's a fish, it's a big fish. Looking for a head shake on it. It's off to the side of the boat. I don't know if this fish even knows it's hooked, but it's kind of swimming at the boat. I'll be honest with you, at first I was kind of wondering if it was a fish or if I was dragging a limb, but finally as it got close to the boat, I felt some head shake, some head move, and I realized I had a massive fish. There like ain't no head shake to it. Let's see what happens when I leave it right there. I swear it's still coming to me. Oh, there he goes. He knows he's hooked now. That's a fish. Limbs don't swim off. Got the net. Now we're ready to play ball. That is a decent fish. That is a decent fish. Let's put the brakes on him. It's a pretty good bit of drag on that fish though. About 8 pounds. Ain't too much. It's a good fish, guys. Got out here on the deep flat next to this hump. That's where this one was. good one. You can tell by that rod bend, that's a good fish. That's a good fish. Man, I hope he stays butting. See him on the sonar. I'm 25 feet of water. Look at that rod. Look at that rod. Good gracious. Big cat fever, medium heavy. It's candy caned over in the water. This is a big fish. Very big fish. Not sure if it's a flathead or a blue. Fish apparently sees the boat. That rod. That's a heavy fish. That's a heavy fish. May end the year on a high note right here. It's a big fish, boys and girls. Nurse this one in. God dang. It's a big fish, big fish. I have not seen it. I would think flathead just by the way it acted to begin with. I cannot get it high enough to even see it yet. Big fish, big fish, big fish. Just stay button, fella. Trying to put just enough pressure on it. Keep it out the bottom, but he's going to the bottom. It's acting like a flathead. I see it on the sonar. It's a good fish. It just keeps on pulling line off. Not seen it yet. Oh, he's wrapped. I felt him. There he is. He's huge. He's huge. If I get him boated, it'll be the biggest fish I've ever caught. I just missed him in the net. There he is. There you go, guys. It's in the net, and I'm telling you, I knew it was big. I was thinking 75 or 80, and it's just a big fish. I've caught 60. 60 has been my personal best. My personal best has been right around that mark, 61 pounds, somewhere in there. This fish looked bigger. I think it was because this fish was somewhat short. At least I say short. It was about 49 inches, but it had a lot of girth, a lot of tail, a lot of back end. And I was a little bit concerned about getting it in the boat. So I actually called a buddy of mine, James Matherly, who was down here. And I said, hey, bud, are you nearby? He was only 5 minutes away. I said, if you can ride over here, I would really appreciate it. That way I can get some good pictures of this fish. There it is, guys. The biggest fish I ever caught. And he fell down. There it is. That is a beast, son. Well, I managed to get it in the boat, weighed it on the scale, weighed it several times, reset it, put new batteries in. I couldn't get 75 pounds out of it. A 70-pound fish, which is bigger than anything I've ever caught, so no complaints there. Great fish, fish of a lifetime. Very blessed to get it, and just very thankful. Thanks to James, his dad, for riding over and getting some pictures of that fish and being there in case I needed some help getting it over the side, because lifting a fish like that is a little bit harder than you think. I got it in the boat okay and got it weighed, but man, great day of fishing down here on Santee Cooper. Oh, there it is. Back in the water. Well, folks, if you made it this far, thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing, and here are a couple of more videos that I think you're going to like.